yesterday.
Yeah, and lost yesterday in a glorified friendly. Well done for getting the tin
Well, it's
plate.
not a glorified friendly. I told you it's the English Super Cup.
Yeah, we don't condone that around here still.
Well,
What
do
you
mean?
What do you mean?
You say that. Do you have the recent trophy cabinet to turn your nose up at any trophies?
I mean, yeah, we've got the PL and the CL. So what else can I want?
2 in 2 years. I mean, beyond that.
Okay,
that's fine. So while you marinate on that, I'll speak to the lads from Touchy Gooners. Dr. Leroy, what were your takeaways from yesterday's performance? You're telling us we're living in Arteta's world. How so, sir?
We live in Arteta's world, but I just want to bring it back to the Salah point. I didn't want to interrupt one, Marco. So I think this is actually something that I need to shout out my boy Stardog Nows. He's done his job. I think. What did you call him? What did you call him? Stardog Nows, man. How many people have failed the Stardog test? So we've got now Salah. We've got
Adama.
We've got Adama Traore.
Yeah.
We've got who else? Who else has failed the Stardog?
We got Padlock for them, Chelsea. Padlock someone.
Yeah. What was his name? Who's that Chelsea guy? Pulisic.
Willian plays on the right for Chelsea.
No. Willian didn't play that game, to be fair.
Who now plays for you lot? So that's funny still.
He usually plays on the right, not the left.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, I feel like, especially in this match, Salah suffers from something that Arteta does quite a lot. So when he's up against quality wide men, he often goes to Maitland-Niles, because Maitland-Niles is our best 1v1 defender. But what Maitland-Niles does when he plays on the left, he's done the same thing to Adama, because Adama is only very dangerous down the left. When you force Adama inside, he's not very good. And I think he's done the same thing to Salah. So what he does, he pushes, he doesn't let Salah go outside, he pushes him inside, which is not what you normally want them to do. But then he pushes him into Tierney and the centre mid, and he just pushes him into space, and they do it again and again and again, and they just smother that side. When he's got a really dangerous player like Mahrez on that side, or like Salah on that side, they just try and crowd them out like that. And I feel like he did that time and time again. So similar to what Marco was saying, he may be struggling with the left back, but it's because Maitland-Niles is kind of pushing him into that direction, and then they literally just crowd on him. And that's why you saw a lot of Xhaka picking up a lot of loose balls. So he did very, very well that game. So, but yeah, overall, like personally, I was having this argument in the Touchy Gooners chat. I thought, in terms of territory, Liverpool dominated the game. I felt like from minute one.
Marco, you're nodding. You didn't even say that, bro. Yeah. You didn't even say that.
You know what, man? That's implied. On Cophead, man said I expect to dominate from minute one to the end of the game. That's always implied.
That's implied on the podcast.
That's always implied.
Yeah, cool. All right.
The thing is, so we had this argument because everyone disagreed with me, but really, dominant is about territory. Liverpool played in the second third and our third, basically most of the game. But especially in the first 25, 30 minutes, we looked more dangerous. So we had the far better chances. We should have really been 2-0 up, and Ketu should have scored. I think someone else should have scored. But obviously, Aubameyang did his thing. We look good on the break. So we don't have much time in their third, but we look quite creative and incisive when we're playing out the back, and we gave them trouble. Liverpool, for all their dominance and all their territory and all their possession, they really lacked the final third, like that edge, that quality in the final third to really break us down. And that's what they let that someone who's knitting them together, and that's what Firmino's apparently supposed to do. So I don't know what he was on yesterday.
That's Cater's job. It wasn't on the pitch. When Cater came on the pitch, he was still.
Well, all I hear is about Firmino being like creative. He's a creator. He's our number 10.
No.
That's interesting to me, Marco, because obviously if he's not scoring, we know he's not scoring, and he's starting, and you lot are struggling to knit it together. You start to ask the question of what is he bringing?
What does he actually offer to the team more time? Yeah.
I honestly expected Brewster to start yesterday, and just because of pre-season form, the timing of the Community Shield, Bobby not firing, and Brewster being on form at the moment, I was expecting Brewster to get the nod. But Bobby is a weird player. Like, he's tactically so good for us because of how he drops in. It's not just what he does on the ball, it's what he does off the ball.
Oh yeah, we're very well aware.
We know that, man. You might call him like a defensive striker already. We get that. We hear you still.
But you know what? I'm gonna do a little hot take. I feel like Bobby will get over 15 league goals this season. I I feel like Bobby will
15.
get over
15 goals.
this
League
season.
goals.
Over.
No,
Bro, do you know what?
not even
I've
just not even just
League
goals.
goals.
League goals. Oh,
Yeah, over 15 league
League.
goals. If
Yeah.
I have to caveat it, if we get Thiago.
Yeah, but
I
you
feel
just
like
said
he gets 15
you just
goals.
mentioned something about you lot going to a 4-2-3-1 formation. Imagine Firmino up front for you, and he's not out scoring striker. That's gonna get you more than what you're saying. I don't think you get more than 10 goals, bro.
Do you know what?
You need to remember his record last season. How many goals did he score at home?
Okay, he scored 1 goal at home. He scored 9 goals in total. A lot of them
That's terrible.
A lot of them being game openers, and a lot of them being game winners.
Nah, that's for
I mean, when you say hold on, when you say a lot, he scored 9 goals in total. So a lot it's a bit of a cheeky word to use in that case. If
A lot is 6 or 7, isn't it? A lot is 6 or 7. I don't have
relative. Okay, a lot as in the percentage of the 9 that were winning goals or openers. Okay, I see.
Cool.
I see.
Do you know what it is with Firmino for me though? That he's actually a good footballer. Like as a footballer, he's sick. But as a striker, I'm sorry, man. For me, you lot should have gone for Timo Werner if you could. And of course, he's gone Chelsea now. But for me, if he's your striker next season, I kind of, and you obviously change formation to what from the system you're playing now. I would kind of be worried if I'm a Liverpool fan. Because really and truly,
I don't feel like I'm worried, Jed, is when we went to the 4-2-3-1, it was very fluid. One thing that we've all said across Cop End is we couldn't tell what players were playing certain positions because we had Minamino floating in there. We had Salah, who likes to be a number 9, who likes to drag himself into that position, and we had Mane, who could push there. So there was a bit of flexibility across them. Firmino was dropping slightly deeper to create. He could push up whenever he wanted, but he was dropping slightly deeper to create. So personally, I don't feel like it will be an issue moving forward, especially when you have 2 people contributing 20 league goals a season. I don't really care. Well, I do care about my number 9, but that alleviates some of the pressure from my number 9. So on top of that, second point, I feel like we are working on the forwards as a deal. I don't know who it's going to be, but I expect us to bring in the forward before October.
Why? What's that based on?
Just
vibes. It sounds like vibes, to be honest.
It is a lot of vibes. But from what I'm hearing, Brewster isn't going to be used a lot. So from what Klopp's saying,
I did see on Twitter today. He's been linked away to Sheffield United,
probably obviously he's done his thing. He's done his thing in the Championship.
You
want to see him in the Prem now. I think. Yeah, it's a big step up from a Swansea to this Liverpool side.
And every time Klopp has talked about him, he's mentioned protecting him and that he's still young. So I feel like Klopp is very tentative in using him because he knows stuff like Saturday could happen where he misses and then he gets slandered for it, which wasn't his fault.
You see the thing with that protective thing, like if he's good enough, 20 years old striker, if he's good enough, he's ready. Look at Haaland. Haaland's the same age as him, and look what he's doing, innit? For me, if he's not cutting at 20, obviously he's gonna improve, innit? But
19, by the way.
That's ridiculous. I mean, what about your boy Zelalem? If we're talking about...
Bro, he went as a striker, innit? You already start seeing the glimpses from strikers, innit? For me, innit?
No, that's BS.
I personally feel like Bruce has shown enough glimpses to.
Because I look at Nketiah, innit? I don't think Nketiah is gonna make it Arsenal long term, personally, innit? That's just me.
Strikers mature late. Strikers generally mature late. A lot of their game is about intelligence, movement around the box, things you learn. You only get the exceptional strikers. How many strikers come in and bang early? Really start banging in their career. Strikers really start finding their feet and getting their goals at 20.
Only the phenomenons, really.
Only the phenomenons.
Yeah, fair enough.
So someone like Brewster, he might not be ready to do something for Liverpool now, and he might be able to get a pretty penny for him, and he might have to work his way up. But I wouldn't say look at Haaland, because Haaland's a young phenom, so it's not really fair to compare to Brewster.
Yeah, tough.
I'm not going to be too harsh on him at all because he is still growing, he is still learning his game. He is still being coached.
Yeah, I wouldn't be at all. I wouldn't be harsh on him at all.
Who would you bring in though? If you're not targeting a striker now, who'd you target?
We've had a little Patreon about a transfer game about who you would personally bring in. I feel like me personally, I would want to bring in Dubai because I feel like he'll suit us very well in that false 9. He'd be able to do the Firmino role and score goals, offer outside of the box threat, can play on the left and right, can play in that number 10 position if we move into a 4-2-3-1 as well.
Dubai is your 10, yeah? Okay.
Offers us a lot of tactical flexibility in it. So, who knows?
Fair enough. What about Igalo? I hear he's going to be available soon.
Yeah, we don't want them boy there still. We don't want them.
Cool. So, Leroy, you were still talking. Sorry, we digressed a bit. Yeah. So, just your.
For Arsenal overall, like Mikel Arteta. Obviously, he come out and said this is not how he wants to play. Like this is not what he's feeling. But he's got to do what he's got to do with the squad available. I don't think ideally he wants to play a back three, but we have to because our defence is so weak and we really haven't got the midfield to help protect them. So, but yeah, overall, I feel like what he's working with, he's doing well. Like we're actually competing with these teams, even though obviously Liverpool had 2 weeks more training than us, so they're a lot fitter than us. But I feel like we were right apart from the last 15 minutes where we really struggled for energy. But we had some stand-up performances. Like obviously, Aubameyang did his thing with the goal. Overall, played pretty well.
The guy's a shooter. The guy's a certified shooter, man. That was a beautifully taken goal, man.
We need to get him on that new contract, ASAP, man. It needs to be announced, bro. I can't take it anymore, man.
Announce the thing, yeah.
Announce the thing, bro.
Sign the ting.
like the way we actually made that goal was very good, and it's something that we've done quite often. We've been playing out the back, suck them in, try and isolate Aubameyang on the other wing, so get to one wing, switch it over, and then let Aubameyang do his thing. So it's something that we've practiced a lot. And it's something that's coming out. So you can see the patterns of play that we're starting to develop. So he had a good performance all round. And Tierney, fantastic signing. He was superb again. Stardog, obviously, my guy, superb.
Sounds like he's staying now. And he got an England call up
that's
as well.
really good news, man.
So it's been a hell of a week for the lad.
Hell of a birthday, man. He had a perfect birthday, essentially.
Lovely.
I'll still stay for 30 mil. Don't get me wrong.
Would you? Oh, okay.
Do you know what? I feel like if we can, I'd rather get rid of Bellerin rather than Maitland-Niles.
That makes more sense to me.
I feel like, obviously, the thing is, that in the hindsight, that Cedric signing was so stupid, man. That like, because at the end of the day, it would be nice if we had Bellerin and Maitland-Niles competing together, but we don't have a choice now because we've got Bellerin and Cedric in between them, and we've got to sell either Maitland-Niles or Bellerin.
The Cedric signing was silly because his legs are gone.
Yeah.
He's a good player, but I could see why. If on paper he can cover both sides, he's had experience playing left back extensively and right back extensively, so it's good versatility. And obviously the experience in international and stuff like that. But they didn't look at the fact that his legs are finished. The guy can't run, and that's not really what you want in the Premier League. He should have gone to
Really? He's at 28, isn't he?
Oh, he can't run, fam. Look at him running in trees.
Yeah, he's very slow, man.
Man, you hate to see it. Well, I love to see it, actually.
Some performances as well, like Granit Xhaka, he gets a lot of stick from Arsenal fans, yeah. And even though we're keeping it on the low, he's been very, very good since Arteta's come in.
Yeah, I won't lie to you. Seeing him in the team sheet, I thought we were going to dominate you in midfield, yeah, but he played really well. And Lenny played really well as well. I won't lie to you.
And then he's a basic Ben. He's not
green belt CM, man.
CM, yeah. He's not really my cup of tea because he's too conservative. But if you want him to keep it nice and tidy, technically he's actually very good. So he can do the 1-2 touch football like no problem. So another good performance. Bellerin, even though I think he's toast, like he had another good performance as well. Louise was pretty good. So yeah, like all round, especially defensively, we had some decent performances.
Doing well. So you've just got 2 trophies within his first 9 months as a head coach. He's implementing his style of play. Gabriel didn't play. Saliba, Willian, Sanley's come out. It looks like Arteta and Edu are the ones who are taking the reins at the club. How bullish are you guys feeling?
You know, I'm not feeling bullish unless we've got 3 midfield signings, and that can include Ceballos back on loan. Because I know our defence was a big issue, but the biggest issue in my opinion was also midfield, both defensively and creatively. We didn't have enough legs in the team or enough athletes to really make a massive defensive difference. The only person who makes a defensive difference and puts up good defensive numbers is Torreira, and he really has come out of favour. But then we didn't have enough offensive, we didn't have enough technical quality, we didn't have enough ability to sustain attacks, ability to pen teams in. So we need 3 midfield additions. So we're going to need someone who's an athlete, like Thomas Partey, who we're commonly linked with. Then we're going to need someone who technically is good, like the Hour, who we're linked with, but I don't think we're going to get that quality of player. And then we need another one who's technically good, like bringing Ceballos back on loan. So to be honest, I'll feel bullish if we had 2 offensive midfielders. If we had Ceballos and Hour, because I could see you moving Aubameyang central, Willian to the left. You could have Pepe, instead of using Pepe as a creative force, which he's not been very good, use him as a sort of inside forward because he's a relatively good finisher and he scored a decent amount of goals at Lille doing the same kind of role. So if we change his role, use Willian as a creator, and if we produce what he did for Chelsea last season, and then you've got a technical base with Ceballos and Aouar, and then Partey at the base, I would be very bullish, and I think, look, that's at least going to challenge for the top four. We might not make it, but we're going to be closing the gap. But until then, until we get 3 midfield additions, I don't see it finish yet.
Yeah, so it's about what 110 million pounds worth of business. I don't think.
It's going to be difficult because at the same time we've got a lot of players we need to sell for us to even make that happen.